Hi, everyone. I got 2 book reviews today. Ooh, I finished 2 books last night. Okay, so my first book is Alfred Hitchcock's Supernatural Tales of Terror and Suspense by various authors. Now, as you know, when I do short story books, I review each story, so I'm going to let you know each story and what I thought of it. This book is getting 3.5 stars. And the reason why it's not 4 is the last story, which I'll tell you about. I am sorry, I am drinking my coffee because I love my coffee. All right, so let's get into it, shall we? Put the book down. So I'm going to look at my laptop as well because I have everything written on here. All right, so the first story is called The Triumph of Death by H. Russell Wakefield. It was a cool, scary story. I enjoyed it. It was about a haunted house and a woman who was very afraid of everything in there. It was a really cool haunted house story. I do like haunted house ghost stories, so I enjoyed this one. This isn't the first collection of Hitchcock books I read. This is about, I think, the second or third. I can't remember, but this is my first rodeo with Hitchcock stories. All right, second one is The Strange Valley by T.V. Olson. This was a good one. There's a bunch of Native Indians, and they see a strange beast, but is it really a beast? It was very surprising at the end. So this whole time I thought they saw a monster, but really it was more like a time loop. That's all I have to say. I can give anything away, but it was a really cool story. All right, next one is The Christmas Spirit by Dorothy B. Bennett. So this was an interesting story. It was based in a hospital, and this lady found this book, and there was a bat wing inside. And when the doctor got rid of the bat wing, the patient died. And they didn't realize they were connected. So that's all I'm going to give you. I'm not going to say what else happens with this bat wing or anything else. So it was a cool story. All right, The Bronze Door by Raymond Chandler, who I do know this author. I think this is the first thing I've read by him. It was a long story, but it was very interesting. So this guy, of course, fights with his wife and dog, and is drunk, leaves the house and goes to this auction and sees this door, bronze door. So he realizes it's a, I don't know if it's a portal or what it is. They never really explain it, but when things are put in the door, they disappear. So people start disappearing. That's all I'm going to say. So like I said, it's really cool story. Yeah. Ending was interesting. Slipstream by Sheila Hodgson. It was a ghost story about a strange plane in the way of another plane landing on the runway. So basically, they're on a plane and they're going to land, but there's a plane in their way, so they can't land. And every airport they go to after, that plane is right there. And there's a reason for it, which is a cool reason, but I'm not giving away. So it's a very Twilight Zone-ish story. All right. The Quest for Blank... I gotta say this wrong. The Quest for Blank Claveringi by Patricia Highsmith. This was probably my favorite story. It's a story about man-eating snails. And yes, I said man-eating snails. So this guy heard about these man-eating snails. He's like, I'm going to go to this private island and check out these man-eating snails. First thing wrong is you going to a private, isolated island looking for man-eating snails. And when he does find them, things go very wrong. Mwah. So it's really good. I enjoyed it. Miss Pinkerton's Apocalypse by Muriel Spark. And I also heard of that author too. It was a strange story. It was not one of my favorites. It was about a mini UFO. It was just strange. It was like a recount of how they saw the UFO. It was kind of strange. Yeah. The Reunion After 300 Years by Alexis Tolstoy. It's a ghost story about a young woman who comes upon a bunch of ghosts in an old castle. Yeah, it was all right. It was a ghost story, but it wasn't scary. It wasn't one of my favorites. But basically that's what the story is about. The Attic Express. Oh my God, this is a great story. by Alex Hamilton. This was also Twilight Zone-ish. So this father sets this huge train thing in his son for his son, and his son doesn't care about it, but he's still trying to pressure his son to play with the trains. So in Twilight Zone-ish, he tells his son he's going to be on a train while he plays with it. So he purposely gets miniature to go in the train, and yeah, things go wrong. That's all I'm going to say. Really cool ending. I enjoyed it. The Pram, P-R-A-M, okay, by A.W. Bennett. It's an okay story. So basically, this couple dies, and they want their pram burned on top of their graves. The coroner doesn't do it, and things go wrong. So, ghost story. All right, the last story, which is why I gave this, I took a half star off. I would have gave it 4, but I took a half star off because of the story. It's called Mr. Ash's Studio by H. Russell Wakefield. All right. So this guy rents the studio to write. And in the studio, there's a picture of a woman. And when he opens the door, there's these moths, these red moths that keep trying to attack him when he tries to get near them. Yeah. Basically. So when he keeps going to the studio, the picture changes of the woman. Subtle differences of the picture. And so, I'm reading this going, okay, cool. What's going on with the moths? What's going on with the picture? So the guy who lives next door explains that, I guess, the woman was dating the artist and she died somewhere else, like not there, but I guess somewhere else she lived. And when she died, she was wiping its stuff in front of her face, even though nobody could see it. And apparently the artist shot himself. Nothing was ever explained in this story. That's why I hated it so much, because at the end, I'm like, okay, what's going on with the moths? What are they? What's going on with the art? Like, what happened? Nothing is explained. And the ending was just confusing as heck, because it's like, oh, does the artist look like this? What? Who cares what he looks like? I wanted to know what was going on with these moths. Like, I just didn't like it. It just didn't explain everything, and I didn't like it, so meh. I took a half star off. So that's it. So that's, I thought it was a good book. I always enjoy his collections. So 3.5 stars. The majority of it was really good reads. So definitely recommend it for those who like supernatural stories. All right, that's book review 1 done. And the next book does have thumbs up, so no bad books this time. All right, I'll see you in a few minutes. Bye.